You can build it like this, or you can build it like this. I prefer the latest one because it's a little bit lighter. But let's go back and let me show you how I did it. So first of all, I'm using the Tilta Cage, and I'm gonna use half of it because it's actually easier to balance the camera on the gimbal. So the first thing what I'm gonna do is actually to move the T5 drive a little bit back, so that way I can remove the half of the cage. So I'm gonna get the Allen wrench, which is in the bottom, and I'm gonna remove the screws that are one on the top and two on the bottom. Stick around to the end because I'm going to show you how I set it up, and I'm going to show you the axis settings so that way you can use it as a reference. And also I'm going to put the T5 back and screw it to the T5 holder, and I'm going to remove the handle. One very important thing is to be organized, is let's place back the Allen wrench at the bottom of the cage so that way it's easier to find the next time we need it. Alright, so here's my setup. Half of the cage, so I'm going to put it on top of the RS2. The camera cage has a built-in Arca quick release plate on the bottom. So all we gotta do is just to slide the camera all the way in to the right. The good thing about this is that we don't have to use the adapters that comes with the gimbal. So we're just gonna slide it all the way to the right and lock it up. So now we can proceed balancing the camera on the gimbal. Okay, so I'm gonna unlock the bottom part of the gimbal, and I'm gonna move it around, and I'm gonna unlock the other axles as well. And then I'm gonna show you that the camera can actually be mounted on this gimbal with no problem. I already balanced the camera, so I'm just gonna show the different positions where the camera is supposed to be balanced with the gimbal. Just for the record, I'm using the MP550-570 batteries, and this battery actually lasts about 45 to an hour, sometimes even more, which makes this setup a little bit lighter. Great, so as you can see, the camera is pretty much balanced. But don't forget, you have to do calibrations. There's like 3 different main calibrations you gotta do before operating the cameras to ensure that it's in the proper level. Follow the link on the top to calibrate your camera. The only downside of this setup is because I'm using the SSD drive, and that is connected to the USB port of the camera. So that means I cannot use the record button on the gimbal. So basically I need to use the record button on the front of the camera or on the screen. And if I were to use the SD card, which would take away the T5, I can connect the USB cable from port of the camera all the way to the port of the gimbal on the top gimbal, and that will actually synchronize the record button, and I can use it from the gimbal instead of the camera. One thing that I do after I do my balancing calibrations, I use the applications to ensure that my camera is properly balanced. By doing a 360-degree turn and pressing center to make sure it stays on the same level. And as you can tell, it did. And these are the settings that I use on my gimbal to balance the camera. You can use it as a reference. It might be slightly off here and there, but it depends on how you set up. You know, sometimes when you move a little things here and there, it might throw it off, but this is actually a good start, and you can use it as a reference. Okay, so in this case I was using the gimbal with the MP570 batteries, which is actually lighter. But if you want to use a B-mount battery, you're gonna use this adapter, which is actually meant to use on the waist, so that way you can release some weight on the setup that you have, whether it's a handheld or in the gimbal. But in this case, if I want to attach it to the gimbal, I'm going to use this arm, which is on the left side, and I want to take out the metal piece, and I'm going to clamp into the B-mount battery and attach it along with the arm. Just remember, when you attach this part to the gimbal, to use adapters like this, because otherwise, if you don't use this adapter, you might ruin the electronic part of this part of the gimbal. And this adapter is this piece right here. You put it there first, and then you put the second part, and this is how it looks. And then you can use the phone as a monitor on the right side. Use the Revenite, which is actually located in the bottom of my gimbal, and that it's pretty much it, the way I set it up. I mean, honestly, this way I don't really like it too much because it's heavier, as I mentioned before. I really like to use the MP570 batteries because they last probably like an hour based on a test that I did. The only downside when you use the B-bound mounter is that it's really hard to get it off when you have this USB connector. But you have to like unscrew it and take it off and then take the connector. But other than that, it works great. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, put a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.